You're listening to the BBM Global Network with 25 years in broadcast audio and video production. Our passionate team creates content and marketing for the world of Internet Talk Radio. If you've got a passion, come join us at bbmglobalnetwork.com. The BBM Global Network. Your voice is now heard.
Welcome to The Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change with your host, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel. Listen as Aurora brings good news to an awakening world and sacred healing using powerful and transformational tools. So now, please welcome the host of The Oracle, Dr. Aurora Ariel.
Aloha and welcome everyone to the Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change. I'm your host, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel, and we're broadcasting live across the planet on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, we have an exciting topic today. The title of our show is Time of the Awakening Soul, How 400 Million People Are Changing Our Future. And I'll be sharing the exciting demographics that launched us into a time of great change and the illustrious souls that were born into the earth to help avert the dire potentials that are taking the planet into another major cataclysm. So here we are all together across the earth, and this great awakening is actually the largest planetary trend on the planet today. Amidst everything that's happening and all the competing things for our attention, it's really great to keep our fingers on the pulse of this bigger picture, what's really going on, so we don't get caught in the throes of all the planetary trivia and mishaps. My guest today is Alan Steinfield. He's the founder of New Realities, and we'll be discussing this significant time and why this portends gloriously for our future. And if you've had a hard time imagining a positive future with everything blaring on the daily news, well, stay tuned on this show because I'll be bringing evidence week after week of what's really going on in the big picture and how amazing this time really is. Alan has his finger on the pulse as well of this present planetary equation, and so he's got a lot to share. And so I thought I'd begin today with an excerpt from the second book in my Earth 2012 to 33 series, Time of the Awakening Soul, to help lead us into what we're speaking to today. Today we stand on the edge of an exciting destiny that is being fulfilled by an unseen force so brilliant in its design that it defies imagination. An awakening is occurring in millions of people so vast and incomprehensible, it is changing the world around us. You may not even realize it is taking place, and yet this silent force of dynamic intention is forging a new reality, and you are a part of it, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. These largely unnoticed millions are a mystic culture who, by the very nature of their unique destiny, are compelled to change the outcome of our planet's future. Shining a rainbow of divine promise on our horizon, the awakening of millions of people simultaneously across the planet is the unseen hand in a planetary destiny that could move us out of the grip of dire planetary potentials into a more enlightened future. As the planet hurls towards destruction and people throughout the world are in the throes of darkness and despair, awakening souls are breaking the secret code of their unique destiny and transforming the human programming that has brought us to the brink of disaster. Inspired by a vision of a transformed world, they are changing life on Earth as we know it, dedicating their lives to a planetary restoration project vast in its fragmentation and yet largely unnoticed by a majority of Earth's inhabitants who are sadly caught up in Earth's present challenging dramas. From the evidence I've gathered, I believe awakening souls are here to turn the tide at the 11th hour. The question is, will we succeed? So this is something I've written extensively on, and if you want to check out my books and other offerings, you can go to my website, aurorajulianaariel.com. And each month I bring an exciting Earth 2012 to 33 updates, along with monthly healing specials from our virtual healing center, pretty spectacular sacred tours, mastery intensives in Sedona, and more, and showcase it all in my newsletter. So if you want to be getting that, please go on my website and sign up for it. And you'll receive my free book, TheQuest, Heal Your Life, Change Your Destiny, as well as 50% off on all of my healing sessions. So beginning in my teens, I received visions of the future and its many dire potentials. And later I would read Edgar Cayce's visions and other prophecies similar to what I had been shown. Prophecies that spoke of cataclysmic events and a great undoing that would dramatically change our world. And at the same time, I was also shown another future potential that awakened me to why I was on the planet at this significant time and why so many others had come, why we were all here and undergoing this whole awakening. And this gave me a planetary conscience, inspiring me to do my part and leading me into a life of service. So one set of visions revealed cataclysm and demise. Another I was receiving was of masses of people becoming enlightened in this time. And as I grew to understand the meaning behind these visions, I was also becoming aware of the shift in my own consciousness and that of many others and the impact it was having on the planet. We are literally changing the field by the shift in our consciousness, by coming into loving, by being more present in who we really are. And later, I delved deeply into the psyche and I uncovered the cause of suffering and a way to heal it from within. And I found it's all coming from this programming, this virus in the human computer system that has kind of overran humanity and pretty much run humanity for millennia of time. And this has been at the core of what's really going wrong here. And so it's exciting to have found a cure and a way out. And so this birthed sacred alchemy healing I do, and that I developed into TheQuest. And it's a 7-step process that you can literally go from upset to peace in minutes, heal deep-seated patterns and wounds, free yourself to be in your authentic self most often, and actually live a higher destiny than what your human programs are dictating. I also saw the answer as I delved deeply into the psyche and what's really happening here, that the answer to the dire potentials before us is this awakening we're undergoing. And as more of us are awakened to our higher purpose, healing our lives and becoming a part of this light potential, we are witnessing the healing of our world. And the cataclysmic prophecies for this time are being averted. And I'm sure many of you are aware of how many prophecies and scientific predictions we're all faced with every day, and the blaring news and what's going wrong and how bad it's going to be. And yet, look at what's happening within us, what we're undergoing, who we're becoming. We're waking up, we're remembering who we are, we're being our full potential selves more and more often, and we're finding the tools that are helping us to live in a more enlightened way. So it's really a glorious time to be alive and to be participating in all this. And after the break, my guest Alan Steinfield and I will be delving more deeply into this very profound topic. So I hope you're enjoying the show, and please spread the word, because it's very exciting to bring you the good news of what's taking place on planet Earth each week, and to inspire this vision of a transformed world that I believe is within our reach. I'm Aurora Juliana Ariel, and you're listening to The Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change. And we're broadcasting live on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. And we'll be right back.
Psychologist, master certified coach, and CEO of the executive and organizational development firm True North Leadership, Dr. Relly Nadler brings his expertise in emotional intelligence to keynotes, consulting, coaching, and training. He is the author of Leader's Playbook and Leading with Emotional Intelligence that lays out tips and tools for effective leadership. Dr. Nadler has designed multi-day executive boot camps for high achievers in Fortune 500 companies and has coached CEOs, presidents, and their staff, and developed and delivered innovative leadership programs for such organizations as Anheuser-Busch, BMW, MCI, EDS, DreamWorks Animation, the U.S. Navy, and Vanguard Health Systems. To learn more and get your free iPhone app highlighting his tools with videos, leadership keys, visit www.truenorthleadership.com today.
Certified professional coach Pamela Reeves can help you with your relationships. Motivational and image coaching are just some of the ways she can help you enhance all aspects of your life. Her book, Is It Love or Merely a Sick Attachment?, helps readers clearly distinguish healthy, loving relationships from toxic ones. Ms. Reeves has put her words into action through Ray of Hope Kenya, an international initiative that provides outreach to victims of abusive relationships there with the goal of helping them rebuild their lives and the tools to avoid abuse. Ms. Reeves operates various business interests through her umbrella network, Nella LLC, and credits her success to her diverse work experience. Whatever your goals, whether striking a balance, reinventing your image, or simply lifting your lifestyle, Pamela Reeves will help you achieve them. Your life, your call. Dial 410-902-5715 or email Pamela at pamregon@verizon.net. She's also on the web at pamreeves.com and on Twitter at Pamela_Reeves.
Welcome back to the Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change. We're broadcasting live on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio, and I'm your host, Aurora Juliana Ariel. I'm really excited to introduce my guest, Alan Steinfield, founder of New Realities, Making Known the Unknown. For the last 20 years, Alan has traveled the globe looking for the most important contributions to the field of consciousness. And on his website, newrealities.com, you can find powerful articles, videos, podcasts, and events to nourish the mind, body, and soul, and to help you awaken to new realities. So we're talking about new realities today, and welcome, Alan. I'm just so happy that you're on the show because you have a wealth of wisdom and understanding to exactly what I've been talking about and the information I've launched the show to lay the groundwork of this show on, of this planetary awakening and what's taking place on Earth today. What's the good news? So I'd love you to share.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me on the show. And I love what you're talking about because it does fit exactly in with what we're seeing on the planet. Just recently, we had about 5 million people marching worldwide as a unity consciousness. You know, sometimes it takes adversity to bring people together. So we're seeing that. We're seeing the polarities take place on this planet to bring together a collective awakening, which is exactly what you're talking about. You know, sometimes we have visions of things, but we don't quite know how it's going to manifest. Well, this is one way it's manifesting, uniting people in the process of what we feel is right, in integrity and humility and in basic human needs. This is what the evolution of consciousness is at now. We are shifting out of the old world of greed and profit and war and corporate rule, and it's coming to the surface now. So we're seeing everything that is not of the highest and purest intent being exposed. You know, there's still a lot of people who are in support of that. You can hear the sound of the city behind me there. This is some of the old... This is the old paradigm.
It's so perfect. You're talking about all of these things, and the sirens are going in the background.
There's the siren. I think that's the old. I'm in the middle of New York City now, and you can see that it's a place where the two worlds meet.
Right.
Two worlds where I was just in a march with 250,000 people down Fifth Avenue, actually up Fifth Avenue, and around the world, as we saw in the news, there were people marching in every major city in the world. But what are they marching for? They're marching for the unification of consciousness. That's really how I see it. We're marching for respect, decency, education, women's rights, human rights. This is what's going to build the new world, and from the vision that you've seen, Aurora. This is, I think, the fulfillment of the prophecy, and we have to realize we're part of something bigger than our own individual, small-minded world, and we're part of a planetary awakening. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting times, and things are hitting the fan. So 2017 just has really begun with a big bang, and I'm seeing, two different things happening simultaneously, just like in that vision. I'm seeing people coming into higher states of consciousness and awareness and awakeness and lending their energies for a better world. And at the same time, we've got a lot of atrocities still to remedy. And it seems significant in this time that finally a more apathetic segment of humanity are waking up and marching. Now, yes, things are paraded on the news and it's agitating and activating people. I think the good news we're seeing, if we can keep calm with it and all and keep this field of peace going in the midst of all this, that people are waking up finally. Finally, they've had enough, and they're just not going to be complacent drones anymore, worker bees, mindlessly living their own lives. They're like, no, this is it already. We have had enough, and thank God the daily news has paraded it all until we are sick of it, and we're seeing a mass exodus out of that whole alignment or complacency around it into what you're saying, a new reality, a new world. We are literally moving on a fast train, or I guess a monorail, into the new world. So
right. You see, we've always had those atrocities. Those atrocities have existed, and they've gone underground, and people haven't exposed them. Now it's the time, the dawning of the Aquarian age, where the atrocities can be seen and corrected. Enslavement, all the things that have degraded the human spirit are now given a chance to come out, be exposed, and bring light to. So this is an exciting time, and I think it's a time where we will respect what spirit is, what the human spirit is, what the eternal qualities of incarnation, why people have come into the body, which is to manifest the higher realities, which is to be the creative mind of new possibilities. That's what I feel is the purpose of incarnation, to contribute to the collective awakening of us all.
Yes, definitely. And it's so exciting to get the demographics on how many we are. And, when I found out like where we are at today, I had so much joy. And that's a piece of the puzzle I think we'll bring in after the break, because I want everyone to know how many we are. And I know so many people have felt alone here, like strangers in a strange land. And how did they get on such an archaic planet with all this violence they can't relate to? And yet we came in for a greater purpose. And when we understand our numbers and what we're doing, it helps us really live in peace and be able to do our part without getting into the throes of every little upset of what's going on globally. So there's so much to be grateful for.
Well, I want to hear those demographics. I think that's important to encourage the awakening of consciousness. And then I also want to throw in some other things after the break about other planetary civilizations and the transformation of the human mind, okay?
That's fantastic. So we're going to break right now, everybody. This is the Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change, broadcasting live on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. And I'm your host, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel. Stay tuned. It's going to get hot and heavy now with really great information for you. We'll be right back.
Have you been dreaming of that ideal getaway? A sacred adventure where you are completely restored and renewed. Join Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel for her Mastery Intensive Red Rock Adventure in Sedona in May, or the Oracle Sacred Destiny Cruise through the ancient temples of Italy, Greece, and Turkey in September. Want to know what to expect in the coming times? Read her award-winning Earth 2012 to 33 books. Sign up for her newsletter to stay abreast of all her offerings, healing specials, Earth 2012 to 33 updates, insights from the Oracle, secrets of eternal youth, and more at aurorajulianaariel.com. Ready to realize a greater potential? Experience her 33-day self-actualization programs, healing music for an awakening world, or healing activations available under products. Ready for a total life transformation? Sign up for her one-year program. Want a distance healing from Aurora? Check out her virtual healing center with its wide array of healing modalities and skilled healers under healing menu at sacredalchemy.com.
Welcome back to the Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change. I'm your host, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel, and we're broadcasting live, probably across the universe on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. I have begun this pretty incredible conversation about what's really happening behind the scenes, and this information is meant to inspire and uplift you so that you can do your part in this time of great change. And we're here with Alan Steinfield of newrealities.com. And so we're just about to go into the demographics of what we're talking about. And we're talking about this huge momentum taking place across the earth of so many people undergoing an awakening in consciousness, coming into the truth of who they are. People who actually care after millennia upon millennia to remember who they are, to find out what their greatest gifts and talents are, and to actually fulfill a higher purpose than just what we've seen as status quo on planet Earth up until now. So this is a great happening, and how I got keyed into it is not only my visions and working with people and finding out a similar message of I came to Earth at this time to bring this forward. I took on these patterns and this very hard childhood, and as I've worked through it, it's helped hone my gifts and my compassion for others. In 2008, I brought out my first book, and I had studied and researched a lot of demographics, and I found that we were around 100 million of people that were really undergoing this transfiguration, very serious about healing their lives, changing their destinies. And that has been growing exponentially. And last year I was approached by BBM Global Network, and they have the algorithm program that can really tell what's the major trends on the planet. So they do a lot of radio shows they produce on different topics that fulfill that longing of those people that are in that trend. But they were really excited to find the largest trend of all. And this was really heartening because they also saw all the dark stuff going on, and it really was impacting them. But as they found this largest trend, and they have actual contacts, names and contact lists proving it, the count right now as we go into this new year is 400 million. So if you can just fathom that there are 400 million people undergoing an awakening, interested in consciousness expanding activities and healing their lives, and the Ascension, alchemy, and all the things that, have to do with this planetary transformation. And what a difference that's making. There is no way we're going to have the future that's been portrayed in movies up until now. There's no way all these dire potentials are going to take place that are looming before us, because 400 million people who are raising into their authentic selves, doing their parts, and they are everywhere. They're in government, they're in economics, they're teachers, they're healers, they're musicians. This is huge. And our future is not going to be the same because of it. So here we all are, Alan, and we've come all together, and I'd love your take on it, because you have actually interviewed most everybody in the consciousness movement, all the great leaders and speakers. So you have your finger on the pulse of these things.
Right. No, but I'm just curious, where did that number 400 million come from?
When I was approached by BBM Global Network to do this show, it was because my platform mirrored exactly the keywords that 400 million people they found through their I think it's an algorithm program. It's a marketing tool that some companies have. Our government has. It's, it kind of shows what people are interested in, what they're doing, what they're clicking on, what they're buying. And so they found that the awakening in consciousness, this whole movement, they counted it out, and it's 400 million right now. And they say, like, in 2 years, it's even going to be way beyond. Like, it's growing exponentially. And I think we can see that even the sitcoms are now saying consciousness statements. Even, everyone on the planet is waking up to eating well and organic foods and all of these things. So the us who came to be the front runners and really help steer the planet out of the way of these dire potentials into a more enlightened future, we're actually doing an amazing job. I mean, look at what we're doing across the board. We are facilitating such changes on the planet and bringing it's a renaissance of amazing things and offerings to help awaken and advance all of humanity.
Yeah, I think that is really important. I would say that's probably right, 400 million. That's a quarter. Now, what is that? That's
almost half a billion.
Exactly. So all these people are not just awakening, they're shifting the way they think about reality, the nature of reality. And I think that's the most important thing to understand, is that what we thought was real is not real. That, we thought the world was made of matter, as science told us, but it's really made of energy. And I think once we get this energy paradigm as a core understanding of who we are and what the world's made out of, and how to use that, then our energy needs will change, because that's like the big crisis in the world, is how we're going to get energy. Well, if we see everything as energy, then I don't think we have an energy problem. We just have to shift how we look at the world. So as quantum science has proven, matter and energy can't be created or destroyed. So we need to understand the human body and the living system as one of energy, an energy platform. And I think once we start to understand that, we change who we are as human beings, and we change the way we relate to each other, and we change our needs. The very foundation of society has to shift if we're going to get out of this global crisis and emerge into some new reality, some new world. And so let's take it up from there when we get back.
Okay, great, Alan. Yeah, I'm excited about your ancient civilizations and understanding of time periods on the planets, anything similar. So we are going to be back pretty soon here to delve even deeper into this topic. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you will be back with us in 2 minutes, because we're going to go into ancient histories and some exciting things. This is the Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change, broadcasting live on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. And I'm your host, Aurora Juliana Ariel. We'll be right back.
Have you been dreaming of that ideal getaway? A sacred adventure where you are completely restored and renewed. Join Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel for her Mastery Intensive Red Rock Adventure in Sedona in May, or the Oracle Sacred Destiny Cruise through the ancient temples of Italy, Greece, and Turkey in September. Want to know what to expect in the coming times? Read her award-winning Earth 2012 to 33 books. Sign up for her newsletter to stay abreast of all her offerings, healing specials, Earth 2012 to 33 updates, insights from the Oracle, secrets of eternal youth, and more at aurorajulianaariel.com. Ready to realize a greater potential? Experience her 33-day self-actualization programs, healing music for an awakening world, or healing activations available under products. Ready for a total life transformation? Sign up for her one-year program. Want a distance healing from Aurora? Check out her virtual healing center with its wide array of healing modalities and skilled healers under Healing Menu at sacredalchemy.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change, broadcasting live across the universe on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. And I'm your host, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel. I have such a happy smile on my face because this topic sings in my soul. This is what I live for. This is what I keep my eyes open to behold. And it really does give a more joyous life than if we're just focusing on all the problems and catastrophes and things going wrong all the time. So I hope this show is going to inspire you to just research even more of the great happenings taking place on Earth today. I mean, there's a whole renaissance of new cures and inventions and programs and projects for humanity, and it's massive. In our time, we've seen the launch of a consciousness movement beyond belief, and I don't know if we've ever seen this before on our planet. So Alan's going to bring in some information about ancient civilizations, and I know we've had other golden ages on Earth. This time, the last time maybe Greece, and that was regional. So I read a lot about some of the taken from ancient texts about Lemuria being a global civilization of quite enlightened. So Alan, what do you know about this topic? And this happening today just seems unprecedented, what the world's ever seen. Have we ever seen a time where there was such great darkness and humanity rose up and created a golden age? I know there's been a lot of golden ages and we descended from them. What do you know about it?
Well, of course, we can go back to the time of Atlantis, which really existed, I mean, as they say, some people, for 30,000 years and even longer. We've only been in this modern age for 200 years, and we've already seen some shifts. But if you go back to the great civilizations, like Atlantis, Lemuria, they did have golden periods, and then they had dark periods. I think we're actually coming out of a dark time and moving into some more enlightened time, even though it may seem like it's a little dark at the moment. But, I think that's just waking up from the old age. I mean, we are moving into the Aquarian age, and this is a 26,000-year-old cycle. If we look back to the time of Egypt also was a great civilization. It lasted 5,000 years. I mean, we have to look at it in huge perspectives. And they had the Ascension codes. I think the ancient Egyptians were in touch with the sun. They were in touch with the star system, Sirius, and they knew how to align their physical and energetic bodies to those stars because they knew that humans have come from the stars. So in our reestablishment of this new society, well, we're now more star nations. I mean, the American flag has stars on it. If you look at other countries, they have the sun, they have, the moon. But we're going to the stars, and I think that is part of this coming home and the awakening of the dormant centers of our brain that need to be activated if we're going to live in the greatest civilization. So, in some of these old pictures from Egypt, you see this elongated skull of Akhenaten. I think that was about actualizing a greater potential of the brain, greater potential of the mind. And this is what we need to do at this new time, which is, you could see it as connecting new neural nets. We have to get out of the cycle of thinking, the cycle of human drama. And this is part of what the great civilizations have done. I think they transcended the human drama. You know, we are so stuck in, does this person like me? Does, what am I going to do? You know, make money? All those things that are so consumed, the lower levels of who our human, what our human potential is, that we don't ever activate the higher potential. So the great civilizations acknowledge the spirit of human beings, and they acknowledge what we're here to do, and we have that potential. With the rise of technology, I mean, I love technology. It can be a great creator of freedom, and it can be a great trap. So in the history of civilization, all technology has been a double-edged sword, even going back to fire. Wow, fire could, like, warm you and cook your food, and it could also burn you down. So we have to be very mindful of how we're using these technologies and take a look at how ancient civilizations did use that. And I think the reason that Egypt was around for so long is that they had technologies that we have yet to discover. If you ever go inside the Great Pyramid, you see it's impossible to bring these huge granite stones into the king's chamber when you're just going through these narrow passageways. And they're also discovering they had some form of electrical light, because there are no burn marks on the ceilings of the great monuments of Egypt. So as we evolve, as we look at new ways of seeing the physical world, we will develop new technologies. I mean, Nikola Tesla said in the early 1900s, you can get electricity from the air. So imagine if there were electrical energy being sent through the air, like radio waves, like television waves, like internet. You could recharge your phone or whatever just by hooking into the electrical current. And so as we evolve, as we awaken the human potential, the technological potentials will awaken. And I don't think we've ever seen a time like this on the planet, because we are the inheritors of 10,000 years of history. So we can look at everything that's gone before and bring it to a new horizon. We're going forward. This is our future. We can look at the past only to propel us into the future. Thank you.
Exciting. Okay, well, we're going to even go deeper with this information after the break. So this is the Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change. We're broadcasting live on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio, and I'm your host, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel. We've got a whole nother layer to uncover today of jewels to bring forward to you to help inspire you about this glorious time we're in. So we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to the Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change. We're broadcasting live on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio, and I'm your host, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel. My guest, Ellen Steinfield of NewRealities.com, and I have been discussing the 400 million people on Earth today undergoing this incredible, almost incomprehensible awakening, and how that's moving us into a better world. And one of the things I'm really inspired to share, and I've done a lot of speaking on this in my books and platform and everything I'm bringing out, is that we have the ability to make a smooth transition to the new world, to a new, more enlightened era. And so many people don't understand this because they get caught up in the prophecies and predictions of this time. But to me, the prophecies are only there to show us dire potentials that we must avert. And that through our inner shifts, when we're getting down to those causal levels in our psyche of all the ills of humanity that then get projected out on the screen of life, when we're healing ourselves and shifting our reality and coming into new levels of our true authentic selves, our divine selves, and bringing that equation into the world, we're literally shifting the future. We're altering the timelines. We're averting major disasters. And I believe wholeheartedly, and I'd like to hear what you think about this, Alan, I believe that that's our destiny, that we came in to avert these things, not to undergo a big economic crisis or end up in, prison planet or some other dire thing. And then somehow out of that predicament, like a Houdini, all locked in and stuck in some little encased reality, we're going to birth the golden age. I really believe it's through all of our efforts together that birth is in motion and that we are making a somewhat smooth transition. Yes, there's still wars and calamities and some earth changes, but, we still have California intact, and that was prophesied to go quite a long time ago. So what's your take on it, Ellen?
Well, I think we have come in differently. I think the people listening to this program are not like the old generations. There's been a modification of their brain and their neurological capabilities because we're actually in a different place in the galaxy. I mean, the old paradigm was that the planets rotate around the sun. Since the 2012 Mayan calendar, we realize that the sun is actually moving, and it's moving constantly through different cosmic fields, and each field represents a change. That's how astrology works, because there's gravitational forces that exert itself on our consciousness. So as we are moving in this new solar patterns, or this renewed solar patterns that we haven't experienced for millions of years, we are naturally coming into a new time. So we are not the people of our parents' generation or generations before. So that's the thing, that we don't look at reality the same. Our perceptions are different. The way we relate to each other is different. You know how in the 40s, 50s, people were very formal. They were very, in a way, uptight. And then there was an awakening in the 60s of loosening those structural segregated bands. And now we're moving into a kind of unified society, and this is all about the way we can think differently about reality, the way we do think differently about reality, and that's the potential we're living forward now. So we're like a seed coming out of the ground, and we're blossoming into something new, something that we have yet to imagine. So as these 400 million people come together, they create a collective of something else, a new network within the consciousness. And I think that's what's going to bring in the extraterrestrial contact. I mean, of course, we've been visited, but we've been very fragmented. And what we need is a harmony. That's why it's called the universe, the one verse, the one harmony. And that's what we're moving into, and that's what the awakening of the planet is, and that's what you're talking about, this harmonious transition to this new time, this new reality, and it's waking us up, and it's happening organically. All we have to do is follow our impulse, like Bashar says, follow your highest excitement, follow your creative imagination, follow what inspires you, what excites you. And I think that's going to build a new world out of something that was just miserable for a lot of people, suffering for a lot of people. I think this is the end of the age of suffering. We're seeing the end of it. That's my hope. So this is your last chance for suffering if you're out there listening.
Yeah, get it in while you can. I agree. We're done.
Yeah.
We don't resonate with it. The souls that came in, that I call violets, just because of the high vibrational personal planetary transformation theme, we're not the same as the people that were evolving here who have been more aggressive, have believed in war, have, lived unconsciously. And so it's, we're like a new race that came in, and we were prophesied by all the Indian nations individually, the American Indian nations before we came, that at a time of great darkness, souls would be born throughout the earth that they call the Rainbow Warriors, because multicultural. And we're seeing that today, that we come with solutions. We're encoded with the vision of a transformed world. We do not like adversity, shadow consciousness, human programs, enmity, greed, avarice. It's like we're all working really hard to rout that out of ourselves. So, Alan, I just want to thank you so much, because we're going to
it's always the darkest before the dawn. I mean, it's cliche, but it's true. It may seem dark, but that's because it's about to be the dawning of a new time.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Alan. I so appreciate your great vision, where you've been listening to The Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change, and we're broadcasting live on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. And I'm your host, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel.
People can find me at newrealities.com.
Yes.
Have you been dreaming of that ideal getaway? A sacred adventure where you are completely restored and renewed. Join Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel for her Mastery Intensive Red Rock Adventure in Sedona in May, or the Oracle Sacred Destiny Cruise through the ancient temples of Italy, Greece, and Turkey in September. Want to know what to expect in the coming times? Read her award-winning Earth 2012 to 33 books. Sign up for her newsletter to stay abreast of all her offerings, healing specials, Earth 2012 to 33 updates, insights from the Oracle, secrets of eternal youth, and more at aurorajulianaariel.com. Ready to realize a greater potential? Experience her 33-day self-actualization programs, healing music for an awakening world, or healing activations available under products. Ready for a total life transformation? Sign up for her one-year program. Want a distance healing from Aurora? Check out her virtual healing center with its wide array of healing modalities and skilled healers under healing menu at sacredalchemy.com.
Welcome back to The Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change. I'm your host, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel. We're broadcasting live across the multiverse on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. I really enjoyed having Alan Steinfield on, because he really does see things in a similar light as I do, that this great happening taking place, and that we have a lot to be excited about and joyous. And we can be happy, even though there's still things to clean up on planet Earth and still a ways to go. He's interviewed about everybody amazing on the planet in the consciousness movement. He's got a lot on his New Realities YouTube channel. And he interviewed me when he was in Sedona last summer. We did 4 segments on some exciting topics, including a planetary healing that you might want to tune into. That's going to be airing pretty soon here. And you can check out my YouTube channel, Aurora Juliana Ariel. I've got lots of very interesting things on there as well. So next week's topic is the Violet Age, a return to Eden, how to live an abundant life, anchoring heaven on earth in your own life experience. And I'll be having one of my best friends in the world back, Turiya Bali, and she is the host of Awakening Heart Network and amazing telesummits that are ongoing through that. And so we're going to have a pretty exciting conversation. The following week, we're going to begin our journey into love in time for Valentine's Day with exciting conversations, insights, and tools on how to have more love in your life. And this will include information on soulmates, twin flames, divine mates, and how to use relationship as a path to wholeness. Some pretty illustrious guests, so I hope you'll join us. So if you've been enjoying these topics and you want to find out more, please go to my website, aurorajulianaariel.com. If you want to have a healing session, I've got a vast array of healing modalities and individuals I've trained that are available through the Virtual Healing Center at sacredalchemy.com. Just look under Healing Menu, and you can get that. Of course, again, my monthly newsletter. I spend like a month writing this thing. It has a lot of columns and incredible things in it. I always give a lot of healing specials and insights and wonderful things. So it can help you keep on that positive track of what's the good news of what's going on planet Earth. So please look for that at aurorajulianaariel.com. And I still have some openings in 2 major events this year. I do a Sedona Mastery Intensive where I pass TheQuest and this whole sacred alchemy process to actualize your greatest potential and bring out your gifts to the world. And so that's going to be in May here in Sedona, the 10th to the 14th. And then I've got a really exciting cruise. It's the Oracle Sacred Destiny Tour, going through the ancient temples of Italy, Greece, and Turkey. That's going to have a lot of alchemy, healings, activations, clearings, and the most spectacular journey ever. So that's going to be September 9th through 20th, I think. So there's still, a couple spaces in both. If you feel the calling, just go on my website and you can look under Sacred Site Tours. I also hold global healing forums the second Saturday of each month, which Awakening Heart Network is hosting. So it's always in my newsletter what the next one is and how you can tune into that. But we've been seeing massive personal and planetary healings. It's been beyond belief. Just never the same afterwards. It's always on the next level, and so much gets cleared and released from ourselves, our family, and all humanity. And really elemental life, the earth and all. So I hope you'll join in as vessels of healing a light for that and come receive and get renewed and restored every month. So I'm just so happy that you're joining in, and I hope you all have a really glorious week. I'm excited as we go forward here, as this has been a glorious launch this month. This is Aurora Juliana Ariel, your host of The Oracle, a voice of positive planetary change, broadcasting live on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. See you next week.
This has been The Oracle with your host, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel. Come join us and listen each week for conscious shifting and a deep and greater awareness on Dr. Aurora Ariel's The Oracle.
You've been listening to the BBM Global Network. The ideas, views, and opinions of this broadcast are those of the participants of the program and are not necessarily the ideas, views, and opinions of the BBM Global Network Company.